Hey folks, Armchair here. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Shackled Ur'zul. This is probably one of the most horrifying mounts in the game. It is comprised of 5 Draenei fused together to create some sort of unholy beast. From that mouth that just keeps dripping slime forever, to the bone wings, and yes, it does fly, to the tiny little bone tail. It is disgusting, but gosh, do I love it. All right, so in order to get your hands on this terrifying, awesome mount, what you're going to do is you're going to come to Antorus the Burning Throne, which, if you watched my previous video, is located in the Antoran Wastes on Argus, which is a subzone of the Broken Isles, which is its own continent, as we see here on the map, which is again located on Azeroth. So in order to arrive at Antorus, you're going to want to come to Dalaran in the Broken Isles, head to this light-forged beacon near the Dalaran Flightmaster, click on that. It'll put you on the Vindicar, which is a ship that hangs out in between these 3 zones. Click on Light's Purchase or Hope's Landing or the 3rd beacon that's up here, and head over to the Fellfire Armory Zone and enter the Antorus the Burning Throne raid. Now, I should mention that this mount in particular, unlike the last video, can only be completed on Mythic difficulty. So that's once per week per character. In order to get to the last and final boss, which drops this mount, you're going to have to kill every single boss in the raid. The only boss that will give you some difficulty is Eonar the Lifebinder. I'm going to show you how that fight works now, just so there's no hiccups for you when you do it later. So in order to start the fight, you're going to want to come over to this big tree in the middle of the room, talk to said tree, and activate the fight. Now there's going to be some ships that spawn in around the room. First one's always going to be here, and it's going to drop this portal here. And mobs are going to start coming out. If the mobs reach the tree dies, fight's over. After that, you want to come up here because there is a large machine golem that's going to spawn, and he does an artillery strike. And that artillery strike is going to hit the tree, and it's not going to be good. But these mobs down here don't do tons of damage to the tree. But if you kill enough mobs, life force fires off, and it damages the thing, which gives you time to run into here, kill this guy, and life force gets used again. Then you have to click all these crystals in order to get yourself back out. All the while, mobs are still coming towards the tree, which can be difficult. But so far our trio is still alive. Tree's starting to take some damage. When we get out, we're going to want to look for any artillery golems and take them out first. All right, he's down. Our tree's at 98%, so we're going to come over here, see what's attacking the tree, kill it, kill everything else that comes in range. Life force goes off for a final time, and the fight ends. And just like that, you've cleared the Eonar fight, which is the only difficult fight in this raid. Alright, so once you've killed Portal Keeper Hasbel, Antoran High Command, and of course Fellhounds of Sargeras and the Gorothi Worldbreaker, you're going to come over to this area on the map here. There's going to be this teleporter. If this is your first time in the raid, the only option is going to be the exhaust. You're going to head into the exhaust, kill the 2 bosses in there, real easy. Just keep hitting them and they die. Next is the Burning Throne. And in this area here, there's going to be the Coven of Shivara, Verithmerus. Both easy bosses, just keep hitting them till they die. Then there's going to be Aggramar. And because I have the skip unlocked, I'll be able to head to Aggramar right away. I don't have to do any of the other bosses. Make sure you, before you click the teleporter, or if you missed it, just click this teleporter again. Head back to the Broken Cliffs and talk to Grand Artificer Ramul. A quest to collect 4 sparks of the Titan or something of that nature. And those you'll get by killing Aggramar 4 times in succession. In the recent 11.0.5 patch, they made it so that once you unlock a skip on one character, it unlocks it for your entire warband. So that's awesome. Back in the day when I was doing this, I had the skip unlocked on, I think it was 14 characters by the time I actually got the Ur'zul mount to drop. So that was a lot of work. But now it's much simpler. You just have to get the skip on one character and you're good to farm for all your characters. It took me a grand total of 126 attempts killing the final boss in order to get the Ur'zul to drop. Maybe you'll be less, maybe you'll be more, but just remember, it does drop. And boy, is it worth it on a demon hunter character or a warlock or even a rogue decked out in fell gear. It looks phenomenal. Back in the day, Aggramar used to be a tough fight to solo because he had this ability that would yeet you off the platform. He doesn't anymore, and you can ignore this shield. You can just keep damaging it. Or you can kill the mobs, shield comes down, and you're done. Fun fact, Aggramar has a secret loot table. He has a chance to drop Tashalak, his sword that he wields throughout the fight. You might just get lucky killing Aggramar. You might get this Tashalak sword. Super cool. And now that warbands can all collect transmog, you can get it on any character. Once you've killed Aggramar, come over and talk to Magni and hit I'm ready. This will drop you into the zone with Argus the Unmaker, which is the final boss of the raid. Now you want to deal as much damage to Aggramar as possible, which, based on how the last fight went, should not be too hard. Because you can one phase him. Ta-da! If you don't end up one phasing him, it's totally fine. It just stretches out the fight a bit. There's a cutscene where you die and you have to run over to this tree that's standing in the middle of the room in order to resurrect, and then run back over to Aggramar and make sure you interrupt him before his cast goes off or you die. But if you deal enough damage to him in phase 1, boom. Once you've looted the chest, turned in your quest if you have completed it, you can come over here and talk to Grand Artificer Ramul and select either Dalaran above the Broken Isles or use your Hearthstone. Or if you want to go back into the raid and have a little sightseeing adventure, the options are there for you. What in the world is going on behind me? Oh man, okay. Good old bugs, huh? You might encounter some, like whatever it was we just witnessed in these old raids. But hey, just like that, you too might walk away from Antorus the Burning Throne with your own brand new Shackled Ur'zul Mount. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you can like and subscribe, that would be awesome. Keep on reclining.